Come behind there and line up. All right, Mr. Jordan is gonna make the, call the names. They'll give me the certificate and, I'll pass it off, to the individual. And, so one of the coaches will be here, and Randy Burns, who operates our sportsplex. First team, 8U Southwest Regional Championship team, is led by Zach Benson, Sean Cozart, Justin Clemens, and Mark Hughes.
What an honor it is to be able to do this. To see these guys play against teams internationally was really, really awesome, and so proud of every one of them for everything that they do. It's a pleasure getting to watch y'all. The first one is Chance Hughes.
I can take some right here.
Jackson Vinson. Jax Taylor. Fisher Marquise. Mark Hughes.
With a current temperature of 76.
Oh, coach.
You can
Go.
go up this way, we'll make
Wyatt Beck. Haddock Green. Gibbs Robertson. Moms, please forgive me if I mispronounce something. I'm trying. Micah Merks. Gotta get that face. Tucker Jones. Sean Cozart. Another coach, Zach Benson. Zach is also over the sportsplex. He's responsible for keeping the grounds looking like they do, so give him another round. Justin Clemens. Sloan McGee. So I thought somebody had won something. You won the gold glove, didn't you? For the whole tournament, is that right? You got an actual glove and gold glove, didn't you? That's a really cool glove. Congratulations. Luke Clemens. certainly not least, you know I did this to you on purpose. Tucker Cozart. Tucker also won the batting championship, is that correct? All World Series.
Now we have the 11U Navy Southwest Regional Championship team, led by coaches Brock Beck, Mike Griffith, Mitch Hill, and Ben Shackleman.
Sean Cozart. Yeah, well, you get two, I guess.
Yeah, I did. But I went the other way.
Okay. Chris Cooper.
That's the red
You
team.
got the red?
Should we do that? Yeah.
That's all right, go ahead.
All right, 11U Red team, the Cal Ripken State Championship team, led by coaches Jason Freeman, Sean Cozart, Matt Williamson, Chris Cooper, and Justin Pullen. Y'all are good. Which one are we doing here? Yes, sir, whatever you say.
Got Sean. Chris Cooper. Matt Williamson. Jason Freeman. Colton Williamson. Jake Pope. Cal Edgewood. Isaiah Henderson. Golden Glove. Another Golden Glove. These Golden Gloves are really special. They're really cool. Kason Pullum. Colin Russ. Colton Cooper. Good job. JT Helms. Bentley Hooks. Cooper Cozart. Creed Bill. Landon Freeman. Justin Pullen.
All right, 11U Navy, we've got coaches Brock Beck, Mike Griffith, Mitch Hill, and Ben Cagle.
Drew Willis. These guys made a run. How many of y'all went in a row? Well,
I think we won 5 to get there.
Thank you. Kellen Pounders. Ridge Moody. Carden Mitchell. Brooks Kelly. Bryce Kackelman. John Jordan. Eli Jenkins. Graham Griffith. Owen Bird. Mitch Hill. Tate Beck. Ben Kackelman. Mike Griffith. Brock Beck.
Let's give them all a great big round of applause. I'd like to say before some of you leave is, next week, I'll be 72 years old. I've been here nearly 54 years, and I can't begin to tell you what this community has done for me over the years. Friends that many are gone now who taught me special things. I got an email today from a lady who was a professor over at Calhoun College. And she, I guess, as she's retired, she collects all kinds of pictures, newspaper articles. And she sent an article about my grandparents. My grandparents toted me all over this country, seeing wonderful things. And those are memories that I'll never forget. Some of those were 60 years ago. So I would urge every parent here, every student here, to gather all the knowledge you can, because someday you'll be standing here and you'll be congratulating parents grandparents who've done amazing things for the kids. Keep doing that, it makes a difference. Thank you.
We got one certificate that was left out, but I'm gonna call his name, Griffin Hill. I'm gonna give him a badge, we're gonna give him
All right.
I just want to thank the parents, the kids, everybody that has anything to do with the sports place. We appreciate you playing out there. It means a lot to us. Like Bill said, Zach and his crew do a tremendous job out there keeping it looking like it does. My staff in the office, our concession kids, there's a lot of things that go into doing World Series, regionals and stuff, that if we didn't have a bunch of young kids helping us, I know Ashley, Coach Cozart at UNA, I think the bookkeepers during the World Series was mostly her players that were away at home but come back summer just to help us out. So it takes a lot of people to do it, and I appreciate everybody. I appreciate the parents, and thank you to the kids. You represent us well. Thank you to the coaches also. These folks and the mayor, there's a lot of things that people say, but, we couldn't do a lot of stuff without them, and we thank y'all too. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank everyone that participated in the teams, representing the city of Florence very, very well, and thank y'all very much. Sportsplex is something that, we're very proud of, and don't take it for granted. It's a great place to play.
I'm right there with you.
All right, we're going to continue with our meeting. I just want to explain, absence of our council president, Ms. Simmons. She is, had to go out of town for a business meeting, I think early in the morning, so she went ahead and left, so she could, get her drive out of the way, because she'd probably be getting at her destination a bit later at night. So that's, why she's not here, tonight. Do we have any reports, by any department heads? Any standing committee reports? Okay, we'll take business from the floor, and I'm gonna say before we begin this, there are rules that we have in order to get up and speak, and we kind of swing it away. You need to give your name and your address before you speak. Now, if you don't want to give your address out over the live stream, you can give the address to Mr. Lighty. Either write it down and hand it to him, or you can tell him and he'll write it down for you. But we do need just the fact that you live in Florence, that's not an address. I don't want to say John Doe, Florence, Alabama, John Doe, and your address, or give it to Mr. Lighty. And the other thing is, you're here to speak to the council. You're not here to speak to people watching Facebook or people in the audience. This meeting is about the business of the city of Florence. And if you have something that we need to know about, please let us know. We're very interested in what you have to say. But you're addressing the council, not the public. So keep that in mind. When you come, you have 5 minutes. Of course, you all know that. Mr. Lighty keeps the time. We'll give you 4 minutes. He'll give you a 1 minute warning so that you'll know where you stand in the 5 minutes. So with that, we will take business from the floor with anything that relates to the consent agenda or the regular agenda. And if you have something else to say, we'll hold that till toward the end of the meeting. But this is 5 minutes for anything that pertains to that's on the consent or regular agenda. And we'll start with this side over here.
Hello, my name is David Carson. I live in Florence. I'm going to hand this guy here my license because there's lots of psychos on the internet.
Thank you.
Okay, this is in regards to agenda item, on the regular agenda, items E and F. This is, I believe I'm correct on that. That's they're both items for the Sportsplex. One for the parking lot, for the more parking spaces, and one for something about treating the field or something. It's a big couple items. Altogether, it's well over $1 million for both of these items. I know at least one of these items, the one for the parking lot, this was brought up back in June the 3rd, earlier this year. That meeting, there was 2 council people missing. I'm guessing that's why it was decided to table that. I'm just curious why it didn't come up in the next, the next meeting or the meeting after that. You guys waited till the meeting after the election to spend over $1 million on the sportsplex. So I think the timing on that is very suspect. I'm just wondering, going on from here to November, is the taxpayer spigot just gonna be wide open for all these projects? Is it just a free-for-all now? Just wondering, because this is a lot of money, for this. And it was mentioned during the work session, that there's like $1 million made over this World Series, I believe. I'd like to know where you got that information. Was that from the Placer AI data or some other kind of economic impact study? Is this $1 million, is this the economic impact, or was that profit? There's a difference between that, because I'm just wondering if this is a moneymaker. And I know you notice y'all brought in some backup, had all the children and stuff like that, I guess, to show that they like it and stuff. But the rest of us, we're taxpayers, and this is a lot of money going into this the sportsplex all in one go. I'm sure there's gonna be plenty more money going into it. It's huge. It's like a little mini city out there. And I guess it will bring in tourism, but all that does is promote service jobs, like hotels and restaurants. Do anyone on this council, or the mayor perhaps, do you want to work in a restaurant or at a hotel? If they don't pay a lot, it's very low paying jobs. And you could be using this land for like maybe some industrial reasons or something like that. This is a lot of money sinking into like recreation and stuff. I'm just curious where this $1 million figure come from, and I'm just wondering if the money spigot's gonna be wide open from here to November on projects like these. That's all I got, thank you.
Anyone else? Am I right? Anyone in the center? Anyone to my left? Thank you. And there were no public hearings, let's get through that. All right, Mr. Lighty, consent agenda.
Excuse me. All matters listed within the consent agenda have been distributed to each member of the Florence City Council for reading and study, are considered to be routine, and will be enacted by one motion of the council with no separate discussion. If separate discussion is desired, that item may be removed from the consent agenda and placed on the regular agenda by request.
Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second. Motion by Trustee Griffin, second by Mr. Hall. All in favor?
5-0, motion carries.
Thank you.
All right, item A was removed earlier in the meeting. Item B is a resolution to approve a contract with Shotcrete of America LLC to provide labor, equipment, materials, and incidentals necessary to install 13 foundations to support new electrical columns at Center Star Substation for the Florence Electricity Department in an amount not to exceed $91,500 to be paid from fiscal year 26 budgeted funds, account 923.00, outside service employed, sponsored by Mary McDuffie.
There a motion for immediate consent?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Griffin, second by Mr. Hendricks. All in favor?
5-0.
Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second. Motion by Ms. Eubank, second by Mr. Oliver. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion?
5-0, motion carries. Item C is a resolution supporting an application for a Sweet Home Alabama Tourism Investment Act grant submitted by FOF QOZB 1 LLC sponsored by Councilman Griffin.
Your motion for immediate consent?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Griffin, second by Mr. Oliver. All in favor? Any opposed?
4 votes for, 1 opposed. Motion will carry over to the next meeting. Item D is a resolution to approve a contract with Continental Flooring Company to provide labor, equipment, materials, and incidentals necessary for the Florence Lauderdale Coliseum flooring installation project for the City of Florence Parks and Recreation Department in the amount of $140,782.40 to be paid from budgeted funds, account number 188-1147-44410, sponsored by Bill Jordan.
Your motion for immediate consent?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Griffin, second by Mr. Hendricks. All in favor?
5-0.
Your motion to accept?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Eubanks, second by Mr. Oliver. Any discussion?
Yes, I'd like to say that this particular item and the next two, I know the gentleman asked why tonight. Ms. Simmons actually had requested several weeks ago that we wait until after the election to deal with these particular items due to the amount of money that we were looking at having to be out on.
Any other discussion? All in favor of the motion?
5-0, motion carries. Item E is a resolution to approve a contract with Grayson Carter and Son Contracting Incorporated to provide labor, equipment, materials, and incidentals necessary for the parking lot demolition and expansion at the Florence Sportsplex for the Florence Parks and Recreation Department in the amount of $892,481.38 to be paid from budgeted funds, account number 188-931-44410, sponsored by Bill Jordan.
Your motion for immediate consent?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Griffin, second by Mr. Oliver. All in favor? Opposed?
Okay, 4 votes for, 1 opposed. This will also be carried over to the next meeting. Item F is a resolution to approve a contract with Pro Rain Irrigation Services Incorporated to provide labor, equipment, materials, and incidentals necessary for the renovation of 12 infields and warning tracks located at the Coffee O'Neill Sportsplex for the City of Florence Parks and Recreation Department in the amount of $499,631.80 to be paid from budgeted funds, account number 188-931-48117, sponsored by Bill Jordan.
Your motion for immediate consent?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Hendricks, second by Ms. Eubanks. All in favor? Opposed?
4 votes for, 1 opposed. Motion will carry over to the next meeting. That's all I have, Mr. President.
Thank you. Another general business. Go to business from the public, the 5-minute time limit. We start with this side over here. On the left.
Good evening, council. My name is Virginia Irons. I live at 135 Creekwood Circle in District 6 in Florence. Thank y'all for letting me here. I come to for y'all because I'm a person with disabilities. I have metal in my legs. I have multiple fractures, multiple health conditions. I'm always sick. Some days sicker than others, but God is good. I try to attend things downtown. I cannot. There's no benches. I know y'all took them up for the homeless because of somebody didn't like the homeless being on. But y'all forgot about not only me, but y'all said, like he says, don't take it for granted for being kind to strangers. What about your own citizens that are disabled? We do not have nowhere to watch the parade. We do not have nowhere to sit down. We don't have nothing. It's very disappointing, and I almost fell out during the Juneteenth because it was such a stretch to walk. It's a miracle I'm not in a cane or a wheelchair anymore. And that is a big concern I would like to bring before the council to consider. Also, I will try to get together with someone to show me how to put it on your agenda to please put the benches back downtown. The other item I would like to bring up is our red light in front of Creekwood. Me and my classmate, we have wrote the AODOT, whatever they are. We have went through every channel, we have done a petition. It can stay there 10 minutes, even at midnight with no traffic, and it gives you 2 minutes to get under it. Okay, but before you pull out, you have to be careful somebody don't run it. I've been here since 1984, since I was 8 years old. I'm 49, do the math. And then the reason the red light is there, because the senior in school, my classmate was almost killed there. Okay, but what about not only me, people at doctor's appointments, the police officers, the firemen, the first responders, those that are sick. And then what we already know to do, either we're gonna run it or we're gonna cut across in the neighborhood and bring extra traffic. This has been a multiple issue for a very long time, and I pray that something will be done. That's all I've got. Thank you for hearing me out. I'm praying for each of you.
Thank you very much. Anyone else on my left? Center?
I'm Michael Poole. I live in District 1. I reside at 1718 Maple Avenue, my sister and I. And they use the Maple Avenue as a racetrack. They'll start right there at the corner of Boyd and Maple, and they'll come down through there flying, racing their cars and everything. And a while back, one of our neighbors, porch, got hit by somebody that was coming down through there going at a high rate of speed. And lucky wasn't no kids out there. And so we feel like that something needs to be done. And speed bumps or anything is something that needs to be done, because eventually somebody's gonna get killed out there when they be coming down Maple Avenue and coming up Maple Avenue racing. My sister bags her car in simply because it's easier to bag the car in than to bag it out, because when they flying down through there, you can't see them. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's something that we need to address.
Sir, sir, what's your last name?
Poole, P-O-O-L-E.
Thank you.
See if we can slow that down. And some of the traffic lights, I share your grief over traffic lights.
It's our whole neighborhood.
Yeah, you're there too.
I'm there.
I totally understand that. Thank you. Anyone else in the center?
Hello, council. My name is Stephanie Harvey. I'm 127 Fair Street, District 1. I just have 3 questions. The first one was about Michael Poole 2. We're having that issue on the west side on Irvin, Mobile Street, Maple, and Shade. And if you need car descriptions or license plates, I have those. Because I actually know the cars that's been going on. The second question is, about the City Hall. I just want to know, once y'all get the City Hall built, will y'all be expanding any more jobs? Since it's gonna be such a new building, it's gonna be big, I was just wondering where there gonna be any job expansion, because during the campaign, there were, most of our citizens wants to know, are we gonna do anything about jobs? And the third and last one is, I totally have had a brain fart up here. I forgot what I was even, oh, the most important thing. Okay, all of our citizens have complained about the abandonment and all of that. What I'm asking the city council is, will y'all please enforce that ordinance that y'all have? I feel like if y'all enforce that, then maybe we can get these properties cleared up. I mean, cause everybody in town is probably looked for the people who have abandonment, and it's hard to find. But there is an order in place that I feel like we need to crack down on, as well as the noise ordinance. We having an issue with music after 11 and 12 o'clock on both District 1 North and West Side. So, and we do have a lot of elderly. My mother's elderly. Just this weekend, they partied on Mobile Street and heard it to 2 o'clock in the morning. So, we just want some quietness over there because we do have elderly people on District 1. And that's all I have today. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anyone else in the center? All right.
My name's David Carson. I already gave my credentials earlier. This has been a long road. It's been a long road. I want to talk about a little bit of how I got to this point here. I've been talking up here for a couple years now, off and on. And what brought me up there? Initially, what brought me up here was a city worker by the name of Brian Murphy. During the summer of 2000, there was some protests going on. He was on the opposite side than I was, and it got pretty nasty. Him and his wife started going after people's jobs. At one point, this city worker dressed up as me, you know, just to kind of mock me or whatever. I'm a big boy, I get it. And I didn't know that this person did work for the city at the time. I later found out after it was all over that this person did work for the city. And I was just like, really? So me and others, we started protesting from Post Tavern and sometimes in front of the city council meeting about, you know, getting rid of Brian Murphy. At that point, he was curator of the hotel at, the museum at Post Tavern. He also served on the board of the, I think at that time it was the Historical Preservation Committee, or was it a board that, I forget. But he served on that board. And it was coming up on the vote in 2021 whether or not he'd be on that board anymore. We were really, me and others were really pushing for him to not be reappointed to that board. I felt like he was disrespectful to the citizens, and it just made a lot of people mad. This person was funded by the city, and him treating the citizens like this, and kind of showed the attitude maybe the city workers had towards folks like me. And I protested over a dozen times. You know, if you guys have gotten to know me, I don't do things halfway. You know, I was very persistent. I was out here, and I felt like I was underestimated. And I think I believe I was out of town when it happened. Everyone voted for him to continue to be on that board. And shortly after that, the mayor promoted him to department head, this individual. That, you know, his wife went after people's jobs and he dressed up like me and mocked the citizens and stuff. So I was like, wow, I guess this whole city, like, structure really don't respect a lot. They think, you know, they don't really respect a lot of people like me, so it's regular taxpayers or whatever. Well, you upset the wrong person. And I put a spotlight on everything here, and I wanted the whole world, I wanted the whole area to see what was going on, because I felt like the voters were not informed. And I really don't like it when people underestimate people, you know. And yeah, so after a couple years, a lot of people started tuning in. I was mocked, you know, kind of downplayed at times from the council, like there's just a few people that come up here and speak out and that we're the minority or whatever. Well, it looks like due to recent events, maybe I'm not in the minority. And maybe, I'm hoping maybe a lesson was learned. If not, we'll continue onward. That's all I got. Thank you.
Anyone else to my right?
Hi, I'm Katie Palmer and I live in Florence. I would like to express my concerns regarding the ongoing financial burden placed on the diligent taxpayers of Florence. It is important to recognize that, as far as I know, no one possesses a money tree in their backyard. I urge the city government to not only initiate new projects, but also to present valuable revenue sources to support them. The focus on expenditures such as millions to be spent on new city hall, millions for pickleball, tennis complex. I'm sorry, I'm a little nervous. Millions for stadium. Oh, I gotta catch my breath. Millions for McFarland Park, millions for a parking deck, thousands for a new security system at City Hall, thousands for cancer screening for city employees, and the list goes on and on and on. Raises concern about financial priorities and seem misaligned with the pressing needs of Florence. The city faces significant challenges, in my opinion, including high poverty levels, homelessness, support for low to moderate income residents, senior care, I'm a senior, mental health counseling, joblessness, assistance for veterans, my dad was a manager, business and job training programs, and the list go on and on and on. So finally, one more thing, how much is the city in debt? Thank you for attention.
Anyone else on my right? Thank you. This time I have a question from council, beginning with Mr. Alden.
Thanks, sir. I hear you about the traffic light. We live in the same neighborhood, as you know, and I hear from people sometimes that want a traffic light, and I just shake my head. I'm like, no, you really don't want a traffic light. As you know, that is taken care of by the state. And I have on 2 occasions contacted the state. Mayor Betterton also on multiple occasions has asked for help from the state. And we're getting none, as you well know. Yes, it's very frustrating. And I just hope someday they help us out. But until they decide they want to help us out, it kind of is what it is. But I hear you and feel your pain. Trying to figure out where I was going to start. Yes, I wanted to kind of backtrack a bit about the park and rec items that we put off for a couple of weeks. Those, of course, were discussed, months ago, and again, were asked when they came up, were going to be voted on to wait until we got the election behind us, and understand that. So hopefully we can look a little deeper into those and move. They're both much needed items, especially the one with the field regrading. It's, if you were here for the work session tonight, you heard that is about an every 4-year deal that has to be done with those fields out there. And there's some pictures that I think Mr. Hendricks asked to be put up on their website. It's become a safety issue now with some of the warning track areas in the field. So if we're going to continue to have events out there like we just hosted that do generate millions in tax revenue for the city, then we've got to keep those fields up to par. It's my hope someday that we can have turf fields out there. And the parking kind of goes along with those events. If you're going to have huge crowds like we had, you got to have parking, and we're a little short on parking, and this particular parking lot will help with that. hear the gentleman talk about low-paying jobs and hotel jobs being low-paying jobs. There are people who depend on those jobs and wake up and go to them every day to feed their families. So I really hate to see that they're classified as less than. So some people really depend on those to feed the families and pay their bills. So you know, if we can get what we can get, then you know, I'm all for that. He's asked the question about how far the city was in debt. It's not the rumored $100 million that's been floating around. I don't have the exact number, but it's nowhere near that. And maybe we can get you a number on that, Ms. Palmer, and get you an exact figure. I'd kind of like to know the exact number too. I got an estimate. I don't want to say it right now because I may be off a little bit. That's really about all I have. I appreciate everybody being here tonight, and hope you have a great rest of the week.
Thank you, Mr. Honor. Mr. Hendricks.
Thank you. We met at noon today to canvass the vote. You had election last week. I would like to commend everyone in the city that turned out to vote. Wish there had been more, but we can all work together to try to get that trend upward. I'd like to congratulate all the winners that won last week, and also wish luck to those that are in any runoffs. And I'm proud of everybody that put their name on the ballot. I'd like to remind everybody this week is First Fridays, so come out to downtown Florence on Friday night and enjoy First Fridays. The weather should be beautiful for that. And I'll end with Ms. Harvey. The big question I get, one of them is blight. One of them is grass, cars without tags, and it's all 6 districts. Well, I chair the Building and Planning Committee, and so at a previous meeting a few months ago, I asked, as a council person, what do you need me to do to help you? And from the building department, they just said they needed a new head count. They needed basically what I would call a code enforcement officer. And I said, great, put it in your budget request. And we've not seen the budget yet. Now, that gets a little complicated because a code enforcement officer would work similar to parking enforcement. Parking enforcement can't pull you over for speeding. If a house is tied up in an estate, that's not a code enforcement issue. That's more of a legal issue that we're dealing with. But what that person can do is go by and write a citation and give you 14 days to cut your grass. And they can have a calendar. And in 14 days, they need to be back there to find out if you cut your grass. Same thing with cleanup when someone's living there. Same thing when someone has cars that are abandoned on their property with no current tags on them. They could do a lot. They couldn't do everything. They legally can only do a small amount, but it is a very good start. And I hope that we can get a single code enforcement officer. Personally, I don't think one's enough, but I'll take one if we can get it in the budget, and that's what our plans are at this time. We do have a noise ordinance. It has been updated. I would suggest that you get a copy of it. If you would like me to send you a copy of it, I will. Now, it doesn't pertain, from my recollection, to a car that's driving down the street. This would be for if someone's having an event and after a certain hour, there's a decibel that it can't go above. It changes on the weekend, and it can be enforced, and that's one that the police department is well versed with. So I wanted to cover both of those things with you so that you would be up to date. And then on the benches downtown, I've had some other requests for that. I've got Ms. Simmons and I both share downtown. I promised someone I would reach out to the police department. They kind of move those around. Sometimes they do have to pull them and hopefully to put them back. And there was also some talk about some of our ADA ramps, and some of that process has already started. I know that we've done the corners at Court and Tennessee Street, and there's discussions for us to get,
all the, as far as we can go on those with certain budgets, but we certainly gotta get those up to code, and it is a work in progress right now, so did want you to know that that is getting some attention. And, with that, I wanna tell everyone that is here and has come and gone, how much we appreciate you being here tonight. I don't think I've ever seen the auditorium as full as it was tonight, and it's always great to see a lot of citizens here. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hendricks. Mr. Griffin?
Thank you, sir. I scoured the city and I looked for all my signs. I'm Bill Griffin and I lost the election. So if you find one of my signs, I've given my phone number at every council meeting for 5 years. My phone number's on that sign, so just pick up the sign, call me, and I'll come get it. Or you can keep it because it's great for a yard sign, for a yard sale. But I do need to get all of those collected, and I think I have. But if you find one, let me know. It has been a privilege to serve the city of Florence. But I've served the city for over 30 years. I was a principal, I was on the city council, I was on the school board, and so I assume I will continue to serve, even if I don't sit in this seat. I'd like to congratulate all the winners, especially our new mayor, because the rudder may be the smallest part of the ship, but it gives direction. And I just look forward to serving with him. I called him to congratulate him, and we talked about my 4 pillars that I think are very important and necessary for this city to become the city that we all want it to be. And so I really look forward to working with our new mayor. I appreciate everybody who called and texted me after I lost, because they expected, I guess, for me to go, But you know, I started this job with a smile on my face, and I'll end this job with a smile on my face because I love to serve. And I served before I was here, and I will serve after I'm here, so I'm okay. I'm not gonna go off and pout and put my tail between my legs and run away. I'm gonna continue to do the things that I have always done. And so if you need me, feel free to call me at 335-6575, even if I'm not drawing this little piddly check that y'all give us. So at this point, I yield my time, sir.
Is that 256?
Of course it is.
Thank you, Mr. Griffin.
It's been fun.
Thank you, Mr. Edwards. It is really always so great to celebrate our athletes and their big wins like we got to do with them tonight. This city is so fortunate to have a place like the Sportsplex, a place like our school system, our city school system that allows our students to have these opportunities to win and celebrate with their teammates. It's really impressive. Ms. Harvey, I listened to your comments, and for a long time, and it was 8 years in fact, Ms. Simmons was the chair of the planning committee that works with building and planning, and I know Mr. Hendricks addressed a lot of this, but in order to clean all this up and to work through that process starts at the committee level, and I don't think in all those 8 years that committee ever met. So that's something to keep in mind, so please consider that as you address that with Mr. Hendricks, that there has been a delay in process with that. And so I know he is back to meeting with that group and he is working hard on it. So I just wanted to let you know that. I wanted to also congratulate Bob Lighty on finishing his election cycle in the municipal elections. But to remind everybody, we're not done. There is a runoff in a couple of seats, and I encourage you all to continue voting. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Eubanks. And really, I want to congratulate the youth that were here tonight, the 3 ball teams that participated in the World Series. What a privilege it is to be in the same room with them. They are such they represented our city so well during the tournament, and congratulations to all 3 teams. One thing I will mention, with the traffic lights, I share your pain, but it's very frustrating. When you're sitting and you sit and you sit and you sit.
And nobody's coming.
And the minute you run it, there's gonna be a policeman behind a bush somewhere that'll give you a ticket.
My luck.
But, anyway, but hopefully we can do something about that. And you already talked about the blight, and it is a process. It's not just you talk about somebody cutting their grass and somebody runs out and does it. It takes, they have to have a warning and a citation, and it goes on and on. So it could be a drawn out thing, but it's not that nobody's doing anything about it. It's just, things just work slow. And that's frustrating also. And speeding, that's a problem too. Someone could be hurt bad by somebody flying over a hill or something. And hopefully, maybe Public Works, not Public Safety, can address that and maybe put some, I don't know, do some help with that. And thank y'all for sharing y'all's concerns. That's what we're here for. That's what we like to hear, is when y'all have concerns of things in your district or in the city. Please let us know. I've always said, I can't fix anything if I don't know about it. And many times I don't, each time I come to this first I've heard of it. So, thank y'all for sharing, your concerns. And, as I say, if nothing's done about it, come back. But give us time to try to fix it. As Mr. Hendricks mentioned, First Fridays is this Friday. So hopefully everybody's got a beautiful night, hopefully, and enjoy that. And the other last thing, I want to congratulate those that won the election this past Tuesday, and those that are runoff. Got 2 runoffs, District 5, and Council, and District 4 School Board. Please get out and vote. It's of a population of over 40,000 citizens, only about 6,000 voted. And that's really sad. So, if I were up here later, this is what, you always say things you do, you can't. But sort of like if somebody gets up to complain about something, have a voter list. Wait a minute, you didn't even vote in the election. I don't want to listen to you, you don't care. But if you vote, sure, you got as much right to say what you want to. But if you don't vote, it doesn't carry as much. Anyway, so please get out and vote. That'll be the 23rd of September, I believe, is the runoff election. So please, District 5 and District 4, get out and do your thing. Show your, at least you'll have, if you win, or if you don't win, you got something you can still talk about. But, no.
I'll make a comment.
No. Yes, you may. Absolutely.
Mr. Edwards, we've known each other a long time. I always give each other a hard time. I'd like to speak to a couple things. One is the ADA compliance. We actually, within the last year, went downtown and did an inventory. Somewhere along the way, we've done some and some we haven't. And obviously, that's the issue. We've met with several people about it. We recently did one at the corner where Jimmy John's is. It's time consuming. They did a great job, and that cost us doing in-house about $5,000. If it gone out, it cost a lot more than that. So we're actually looking at the process, whether we hire employees internally or go outside. So that's certainly on our wavelength, because we have to do that according to ADA. So it's too much to say, be patient, because I've spoken with a number of people about that. All right, Creekwood, before I was mayor, I was District 6, and I obviously heard that. Been to lots of meetings with ALDOT. ALDOT controls that space. And I recently, John Hicks was speaking about how we get that fixed, but the problem is it's gonna get worse before it's better. As you notice, they're building the streets, or the road on Cox Creek from Helton to Florence Boulevard. It's a process that's gonna last several months, do a lot of work at night. You will notice, I think that's been changed, the loops have been actually put back in, but, you know, all those signals are gonna be worse, you know, timed differently, so, for a while, it's gonna be worse instead of it's being better. So I guess what I'm saying to you, not only is that roadway from Helton, but also from, all the way from, as I understand, from Hermitage out Helton, all the way to Cox Creek. So, I guess just giving you an update. And, I know that I've been out there a number of times, and I've called Aldott several times, and basically they said they had done the adjustments in the traffic flow, and they were not gonna change it. So we'll see where it goes. All right. Hope that's answered your question, sort of.
Thank you, Mayor, and I just want to say, and I have more to say this later, it's been a privilege for me to serve our city. I've still got to wait, that's why I'm holding off. I'm waiting for my turn later on, but I do thank the citizens of Florence and citizens of District 5 for their support during my time. Anyway, that's all that I have, and with that, I'll ask Mr. Oliver to adjourn with our prayer, so please stand.
Father, thank you for another opportunity to come here tonight and conduct business on behalf of our great city, Florence, Alabama. We thank everyone who comes to these meetings and shares their thoughts and their concerns and their opinions with us. And we pray they continue to stay involved in our city and work with our councils and our councilmen and council ladies to solve those issues. Father, I want to take just a moment and ask for a special prayer from my friend Steve Price, who is, as you know, all things, Father, his health has declined quite a bit today, and we pray you reach down and touch him and give him comfort, give him peace, and if your will be done in that situation. These things we pray in your name, amen.